Good evening, everyone. I have come dressed. I have come dressed as our guest who's on tonight. So I hope he's wearing his dapper clothing as well. Let's hope he is. Let's see who comes into the room. We are live on Facebook. Vicky, nice to see you. It's funny, every time a name comes at the bottom and it says watching, when I've not got my glasses, I keep thinking it says watchdog for some silly reason, so I better get my glasses on. Hello Jeanette, how are you? I hope you're well. Really nice to have your company this evening. Our little Phil is there, I can see him. Hello Anne, how are you doing? I hope everyone's had a nice day today. It's been a bit miserable weather-wise, and after the wolf moon last night, it's gone a bit groggy tonight as well, so not clear nights outside. But it's all good, we're all in and we're all together and we're going to have a great Facebook Live. I'll just make a few adjustments there, which is great. Okay, hello Michael, nice to see you. Hello Heather. Heather says hi Janice. Love the waistcoat. Well, it's in honour of the guest who's coming on tonight. That's my computer screen there. Let's just do that. So I just wanted to keep a track of your comments on there. So maybe if I turn it that way, we should be all right. Shall we get him in? Hello, Michelle. Hello, Angela. Love the waistcoat. I wonder if Phil was just wearing something casual and now he's gone running to his wardrobe. Shall we see? Shall we see if we are in sync with one another? Hi Di, hi Rapkins, I hope you're well. Hi Jackie. Right, let's go and add Phil Martin. Let's approve the invitation and then get on. Phil's the only guest tonight, so we're going to have a good old chat. So hopefully I can see he's being added. There he is. Oh, you let me down.
Hello, darling.
You let me down. I've come
I can't believe you put a waistcoat on and you didn't forewarn me. I've got a jumper on.
Well,
oh, your signal's breaking up.
On as well. Do you remember this outfit?
I do remember that outfit, and I could have done the same.
You still can. You've still got time.
No, I've got my pajama bottoms on. Nobody wants to see that.
I've got my tracksuit on. I'm like a swan under the table.
Oh, this is lovely.
Oh,
yeah, casual. You don't usually see me looking casual.
No, I know it's quite strange. Phil, are you in a chemist? Is that a chemist behind you?
No, this is my craft room, darling.
It's very nice.
The only things in here are glitter, stamps, dyes, and crafty things.
Well, you're looking well,
Thank
Phil.
you.
How have you been?
I'm good, thank you. I'm busy as ever. It's lovely to do this. I love that you're doing this. It's nice to see everybody and catch up with everybody.
Yeah, it is. Joe Ward's just joined. Sheila's just joined. Another Janice has just joined as well, saying love the waistcoat. Well, Janet, it's in honour of our Phil, but he's let me down tonight.
Who is wearing a jumper?
Oh, Phil, I know you're busy, so I really appreciate you doing this, because you do lives yourself, don't you?
I do every Monday evening on my YouTube channel and on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. And then from not next week, the week after, we will be Monday and Thursday evening again.
Okay.
So the Thursday evening one is just in my Facebook group, though. So I'm going to plug it. So it's Crafting with Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours, if you're not already in it.
Fantastic. Phil, shall we go right back before you were a crafter? Yeah, let's do it. So before Sentimentally Yours, what were you doing?
So my original, Janice, now you're taking me back a few years. So my original job, I used to work for social services.
Mm-hmm.
I used to manage an old people's home. Did that more or less from leaving school, and I absolutely loved that job. Loved it. And, you know, with like natural progression, I mean, I was young then. I mean, I'm dreading getting to my 35th birthday this year. But you know how your job changes, your life changes.
Yeah.
And I 100% loved my job, completely dedicated to it. Worked my way up to being the manager of this really big unit. And you think at that time in my life, I was thinking I can make positive changes the higher up the ladder I go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work like that, and unfortunately it didn't. I felt less in control as a manager as I did being absolutely in the thick of it all, and one thing led to another, and one of the girls who I used to work with used to do card making, and I worked with her for many years, and I used to, I'm trying not to swear.
Don't worry, it's not TV.
Well, I used to take the mickey out of her. She used to do it in the day centre, and I used to go, yeah, not a bad job playing with bits of paper all day. And I mean, she made some absolutely amazing things. And at that stage, I couldn't believe that they were handmade. And eventually I ended up being off with stress, blah, 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 blah. And I messaged her and I said, do me a favour and bring me some of your bits of stuff round. And she did. She dropped me off some punches, some papers, and various bits and bobs, and that's really where it all started. And I played, I mean, they were awful. Looking back now, they're not anything like what we make now. But immediately I felt relaxed, calmer, and creative, and I think that's probably what was missing from my job at that time, the creativity and the freedom to be creative. And one thing led to another. I went and bought some stuff, but lots of stuff. and eventually it got to the stage where I went back to work. People were seeing what I'd made. They were saying, can you make me a card for Auntie Vera or whoever? And then it just got busier and busier and busier, and at one point I was actually busier with my hobby than I was with my actual job. And it's just funny how your life changes, the direction you think you're going in. It was completely flipped on its head. Were you
artistic? And that's artistic. Were you artistic before you started playing with the cards? So did you have that natural progression?
I can draw. My dad was an excellent artist, so I've always been able to draw. I've just never had a thing to do it for, a reason to do it, apart from doing it for myself. And that's kind of where it all stems from. So obviously when you're brand new, I didn't know what was on the market. I didn't know about stamps and things like that until she brought me these bits, and then I'm like, oh, I can do that. I can do better than that. And that's where it all started from. So the way, I mean, the shop opened in 2007, so that's how long I've had my craft shop, and that's the same year that I started doing create and craft. I opened the shop in the July, and I started create and craft the very same year, about September or October. So it's just so bizarre.
What led to the shop? Did you go from, you know, Phill working in the old people's home, to being stressed, to leaving that, to going through what you went through, to making the cards, and then opening a shop? Was there a progression that led to that?
It was a little bit more long-winded than that. So remember, I just said I got busier and busier doing invitations for people, and there came a point where it was hobby, job. It was like this. I was busy with the hobby, and I'm talking to the other half, and I'm like, something's got to give. I'm not happy with my job. I don't feel happy there. Can I make a living from doing this? Now, remember, I worked for social services at that time. The salary was excellent. I was in a managerial position. So it was a massive gamble. And luckily, where we lived, there was a shop empty next to the post office. It had been empty for a long time. And we'd booked a weekend in Edinburgh for the tattoo. I love Edinburgh. And it was still empty, and we talked about having a craft shop. And you know, when they say do your research, check what's around, I did none of that. I just googled craft shops in Nottingham. And then I'm looking at this shop thinking, oh, it's massive, I'll never be able to fill it or afford to fill it, that kind of thing. And we went away to Edinburgh and said, if it's still empty when we come back, we're going to go for it. Now, the original plan was I would go back to my job part-time, and I would do both part-time, and I lasted a day. I did one day at my job, having gone back from being really not very well at all. And I thought, whether this works or not, I cannot stay in that job. So, and here we are.
And here you are.
Yeah.
And truly successful as well. Now, you're a man of many words.
Thank you.
With your stamps.
You mean I talk a lot?
Well, yeah.
Takes one to know one. I've changed my mug, by the way, look, just for tonight. This is
Oh,
actually my hot chocolate mug that we use in the winter for hot chocolate. Can you see?
oh, I
It's
can.
massive. It holds about three
Quarter
quarters of a pint of milk.
of milk.
Yeah. Hot chocolate coffee tonight.
But you are known for your sentiments, you know, sentimentally yours.
Yeah.
So, why did you decide to concentrate on the sentiments to be, you know, the main part
Yeah.
of your crafting
So
brand?
that's kind of where it all started. So I opened the shop and very, very, very quickly started doing workshops. I've had amazing support. I've got to say that the local people were awesome. Word of mouth, it got busier. I went from one class to 3 classes a week to 4 at one point, and I'm just like, and it's talking to other crafters where they're saying, I can't find the words, I can't find this stamp,
Yeah.
I can't find this sentiment, and I'm like, well, I can do that. So the very first collection I did, I can't remember whether it was 12 or 16 sets of stamps with lots and lots of different sentiments. Listening to what people had said, I still listen to what people say is missing.
Yeah.
And again, overwhelmed with support. I had no idea how much to charge. Nothing. I've got no business sense at all. So it was very much trial and error. But when I released that first collection of stamps, they went in the same day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. and I mean, crafters are amazing people at the best of times. So when you've got that support network of your shop and the people that come into the shop, the workshop people, it was really overwhelming. Very humbling, actually.
Yeah, yeah. And when did you find that the internet kind of really became your best friend?
So oh, I'm useless at technology. This is why I said to you, talk me through it step by step. Technology
You're doing really well.
Technology hates me. So as the shop got busier, the website, then I did it all myself as well. I've never had like an IT team or anything like that. Learned to do it all myself. The website got busier. Eventually I got to the point where I needed staff, and then we got busier and busier and busier. And then we went from one shop to 2 shops. I've still got my big shop in Sheffield. So my sister, as you know, manages the shop in Sheffield. And we did for about a year and a half at both places, both shops, one in Nottingham, one in Sheffield. But as Sentimentally Yours has got bigger, there just wasn't enough time. I can only do, there's only so many hours in a day. I'm a workaholic at the best of times, you know I am. And that's because I'm a perfectionist. So if I can do things myself, I will always do them myself rather than get somebody else to do it for me.
Yeah.
And so now we've got the gorgeous shop in Sheffield, which is a massive place. It's got the warehouse at the back. It's got specific designated packing areas, etc., etc. It's awesome.
Wow, where is
now
it?
I'm very fortunate. Do you know, well, the M1 is literally 10 minutes away from junction 31 of the M1.
Is it?
Got a lovely car park at the front. I'm there to
Oh.
anybody wants to come and say
Is,
hello.
is there a big, like, you know how in America when they sell cars and they have those big blow up things that go like this? Is there a Phill Martin one outside? It's like
I wonder
this
if
all
that
day.
could be done. Can you imagine? That would be awesome. No, it's just very, very beautiful. You can see my craft room. It's all duck egg blue and white.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's the same theme. I've always had this theme. So my Nottingham shop was this colour scheme. The Sheffield shop is this colour scheme. And if anybody's watching who's been to the shop, they will tell you it's a lovely experience. There's loads of space. You can walk around. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
And we have lots of fun. You can imagine on the workshops, which is what I'm doing tomorrow.
Fantastic. Yeah. Is that why you're going up there
I'm
tomorrow
there
to Sheffield?
every other Wednesday. So
Have people already booked in, Phill, or can they just turn up on the day?
You can book it online as well, but generally it's the same crowd I get all the time. We get the odd people like we've just had people from Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgie, hi, if you're watching. She's in Lanzarote at the minute.
Oh, lucky her.
So yes, you can book via the website.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's Honeypot Crafts, remember. Yeah. So the shop is Honeypot Crafts. Sentimentally Yours is the brand. I've kept the 2 things separate.
Now, Amanda Jane, she says it's an awesome shop. Also, Lorraine says the shop in Sheffield is 2 minutes from her house. So that's good. Lovely. So no doubt she'll be coming tomorrow. But just going back to that theme that you've got in your craft room, because this is interesting. I know that you love those colours, but do you think that when you go into your craft room now, because it's the same colours as your brand, you can concentrate more on what you're doing? You don't feel like you're at home. When you walk into that room, you know that it's work time.
I definitely know I'm at home, because more often than not, I'm in my pajama bottoms and a t-shirt. You've got to have some perks for working at home.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm not very good at, so working from home nearly all the time, is I never know when to shut that door and say, it's time to stop.
Yeah.
And more often than not, you could message me at 11 o'clock at night and I'll be like, I'm just finishing this stamp, I'm just adding some more details. But I'm very fortunate that I can do that. If I decide I want to have a day off tomorrow, I probably won't, but yes. I could if I wanted to. But this was this colour scheme before the shops, so I've always loved, you know what I'm like. I've always loved the Laura Ashley kind of cut, this kind of thing. It's really calm and it's a nice place for me to work in. Although
what about
my other desk over there, which I am not going to show you,
let's have a look.
I can't show you.
I can see it.
It's got new. It's got new things on it, but it's an absolute it's an absolute bomb site, because I keep getting all these new things coming in. I just keep stacking them up, stacking them up. And this desk that's in front of me now, so in front of me here, this is the one that I generally do my lives from and everything. You can see with all the lights. It's like Blackpool.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
But yeah.
What about Lisa Horton is watching now.
Hi Lisa.
There's a not a blast from the past, because Lisa's very much of the present. But when I think about Lisa Horton, I think about you, I think about Catherine Sturrock, who's also live at the moment. Not that like she's dead or anything. I mean, she's doing a live. But,
just to clarify that.
Just to clarify that. And also Julia Watt.
Yeah.
I think of you guys in like a huddle together.
We are.
Why is that?
We all used to work for the same company, if you remember. Lisa and I are still close. Julia is my mate, as you know. I talk to her all the time. Catherine's my mate. We're all very, very friendly, and I think this is obviously, we've had some amazing times, most that I can't tell you about on a live.
Well, Lisa, if you want to come on the live and tell us a little story that Phill can either deny or not, come on in. We'd like to see you.
I could probably tell you too many stories from when we've been at Ali Pally and things like that. But we've all kind of, I mean, Julia's been around forever. She's such an amazing.
Not that she's old, by the way.
No. I mean, she's been in the industry for a long time, or it feels like it. But I've learned so much from her. And when we were all working for the same company, we were all very close. Yeah. So we might have gone off in different directions, but I talk to Lisa still. I talk to Julia still. I talk to Catherine still. Yeah. And I love that about this community. Yeah. I absolutely love that. I could message Lisa and say, where did you get your blah blah made as a stockist now, as a supplier? And she'll tell me. And I would do the same for her, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It really is. And that's it. I just think of you guys forever in that huddle. So it's really nice. Huddle. So it's really nice to know that you keep those connections because it's important. Yeah. But talking about TV, when did you first venture into TV, and were you nervous before you went on? Really taking it to the next level, isn't it?
This is a funny story. So where the shop is in Nottingham, I told you I opened the shop in July, and I started TV. I can't remember whether it was the September or the October, and I worked for Do Crafts originally. So one of the companies, the manufacturers, is quite close to where I am. They used to come in the shop to say hi, blah blah blah, and they approached me and said, do you fancy doing TV for us? Now, I'm no shrinking violet, as you know. I'm not shy. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I've never, how much do I get paid? What are the hours like? Is it going to be worth my time? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so we set up the screen test at C&C, and it was when it was at the original building. And this is so funny. So I spoke to Do Crafts, sent me all the products, prepping demos, never done it before, apart from when I do workshops. And went for my screen test on the Monday, and I started Create and Craft that Friday on a 4-day deal. So I didn't even just start on a couple of hours. It was a 4-day deal. And I remember thinking, don't swear, Phill. Do not swear on air.
And did you?
No, I've been very good. I've only come close once, and I did quickly change the word to something else. But that's where it all started, and I had an amazing time with Do Crafts. Very far removed from where I'm at now, but that was kind of my introduction into shopping TV and the gang of creating craft, and it was awesome, Janice. I loved every minute. I loved the whole behind the scenes. I loved the number of people that are involved in putting a show together, the presenters. It was just a whole new world. Setting aside the fact that we were there to sell,
Yes.
I had a really good time, and I still do, and I think that's probably why I've lasted so long, because although I want to make money, obviously that is not my primary focus. My primary focus is to educate, show you how to use the things that I've designed the best you can, and to have fun.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
it's important because you're on Hobby Maker now, aren't you?
I am.
Hobby Maker. How's all that going?
What, it's awesome, Janice. And obviously we've had lots of changes in the industry. I was super fortunate with the timing. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know this because we spoke privately.
Yeah.
I moved for personal reasons rather than business reasons. Yeah. Some of the reasons which I've just said, I want to have fun, I want to have a giggle, I don't want the pressure of massive. It's not all about money for me. Crafting is it's a family. It shouldn't just be about making loads of money. Yeah. So
totally agree.
Yeah, so I moved. I actually left CNC in the July, and I gave myself a month. I say I gave myself a month off. I didn't, but I gave myself a month away from TV and started in September. And you know what? It's an absolute breath of fresh air. They are awesome. Obviously, I know some people already.
Yes.
And it's very close. It's very close knit, very friendly, which is awesome, and we have a good time.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went for the meeting with them, I'm like, I hope your presenters know what they're letting themselves in for.
Well, you knew a couple of them already. Well, you knew three of them already.
I did, yeah. But
Dave, Hayley, and Nigel. Have you?
I've not worked with Hayley. I've only actually worked with Nigel, who I know from before. Because I'm there every other Wednesday. My shows are every other Wednesday, which suits me perfectly. So the Wednesday in between, I'm doing the workshop in Sheffield, you see. So I always tend to get Nigel and Rosie is awesome. Yeah. They all are, Janice. Yeah. It's an absolute breath of fresh air.
That's wonderful. And it's great that, the industry is changing so much. And yes, Creating Craft ended, but it's great that you found your feet again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you'll ever lose them. I really don't, Phill, because you're so good at what you do. Like you say, you're full of energy and you love to have fun, and that's really, really important.
It's important.
But what's interesting also, it's great that you like to have fun. It's great that you've got all the energy, but all of us have those days, don't we, where things start to get onto us a little bit. Yeah. Do you head back to crafting to help you with that, or do you go out for walks, or do you just get your head out of it completely?
Janice, I can hand on heart say I 100% love what I do, and now the industry's changed. There's lots of people doing Facebook Lives, etc., but I've always done them. I've done them for years, and the people who watch my lives will tell you we have such a scream.
Yeah.
So I'm again trying to teach how to use things, trying to sell things at the same time, as is everybody, but we have fun. So I love the crafting community. As a community, it's not just about, like I've said, sales and what have you. It's about having fun. And I know lots of people so well now, and I'm like, oh, how did you get on with blah blah, and I love that. What do I do to relax? I doodle, Janice, if I'm honest with you.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Work takes over. It's not really work for me because I enjoy it so much, and you know what perfectionist I am. So like currently I've been working on these stamps that I'm doing. They're supposed to have been for March, but they're not going to be ready for March. But I've been working on them for months and months and months, because I keep thinking, oh, and then I'll doodle another bit, then I have to scan it in, then I have to alter it. But that for me is relaxing.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Who says that the job is relaxing? But it is.
But it is. So sometimes when you're doodling, do you look at those doodles and think, do you know what, that's going to make a great stamp? So you kind of stumble on it by accident, but it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got, if we plan it next time, I'll try and show you a bit of it. But I've got my doodle, well, I've got loads of doodle books now. So, like, if I'm talking to somebody, which is rude, but if I'm on the phone to, I don't know, the gas people or whatever, and you're on hold for 3 hours, I'm doodling. And then I forget about these things and doodle and doodle and doodle and doodle. And then I come back to it and I'm like, oh, if I put that with that, that with that, that with that, that's an amazing collage. And that's how my brain works.
Yeah. What's your what's some of your favorite times from your career so far that really stand out? Those conversations or stories that you tell around the dinner table when your friends are there, the stories that you dine out on.
So, Janice, I've been really lucky that I've worked with some amazing people, some amazing companies, and I've made some amazing friendships from that as well. So really, I was talking to the owner the other day. We're near 2.5 hours. And I'm like, Leonie, my phone is on 5%. She's like, oh, plug it in, love. So stories. I mean, we've learned. I've had some funny mistakes. Made some funny mistakes where I've designed loads of stamps. You can imagine, you know, when you're doing verses and sentiments, it's really easy to make a mistake. And I've learned expensively to spell check. Friends, I before the E. I've done it. I've made mistakes in my stamps, but I can tell you this as well. You message me and say, you've spelt that wrong, Phill. I will recall them all and replace them all.
Wow.
Integrity.
Yeah, it's got to be. Did you know that I've got some stamps coming out?
I've just seen that on your
Have
page.
You seen
That's
them?
awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
I've got them here.
Well, you're actually quite a crafty person yourself. That's awesome.
I try to be, but I've made these with the help, of course, of Clarity, of Barbara Gray and the team. But it's all my artwork.
When are these out then?
Well, I'm waiting for them to arrive. I, like you, have never built a shop before online, so I've been doing that today, which was a bit of a headache because I realised I was actually editing 2 separate shops at the same time because I started one and then I started the other and I couldn't work out why the changes weren't there. So I've been on to the help and they've been in the back end, my back end, so to speak, and they've deleted one shop and left another one open. Then I've been doing the postage and getting my head around that, but it's all good. So that's set up, but I'm just waiting for the physical arrival of the stamps and then I'm going to announce the release date. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And it's nice that you found something to fill that void as well.
Yeah,
so
it's
if you
important.
think about the shows that you've done, I've seen you doing paintings and things like that. So it's nice that you can now evolve from that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And like you say, Phill, it's a journey, isn't it? And it's a great journey to go on as well, which is brilliant. And lots of people are watching tonight and they're all saying,
sorry, hi everybody. Janice and I are just lost in conversation. So I hope we're not boring you.
For those of you who've just joined and you're thinking, what's she wearing? Well, I thought I'd come dressed as Phill Martin tonight. But look, even with the dapper,
it's beautiful, that.
Thank you very much.
I would wear that.
Do you know what? It's actually my Halloween costume.
What are you trying to say? I look like a scarecrow when I'm on air. I did mention to you earlier when we did our little checks. I've got no wax or anything in my hair. You're not used to seeing black.
It's great. I know it's normally like really sleek, isn't it?
Seriously, but I can see all the grey in it, Janice. I'm like, it must be the lights reflecting.
It's got to be.
It can't be grey hair. I'm far too young for that.
I like it,
Thank
Phill.
you.
I think it's quite distinguishing.
Right.
I think it's lovely. I think it's
that's how long I've been in the industry, like 48 years. It's turning me grey.
You look fabulous. You look fabulous. Listen, what have you got planned for this week?
So workshop tomorrow in Sheffield. I'm back on TV next Wednesday. Remember I said I'm there every other Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's the first new release next Wednesday on Hobby Maker of 2025.
What can we expect to see? Have we seen it yet?
I can't tell you, Janice, but I can tell you if you watch my live on Monday evening on the YouTube channel or Facebook, you'll get the sneaky peek next Monday evening. So it's worked out really, really well for me doing every other Wednesday because I do my lives on a Monday evening.
Yeah.
So I can do my sneaky peeks, demo and show you everything just before they go on TV. Yeah. So much planned for this year.
Are you?
There comes a point, Karen and I have this discussion all the time, my sister, where do you stop? where do you draw the line? Like, when is enough enough? Well, it never is it? We're
No.
crafters.
Just keep going. And you have a great
Oh,
relationship with Karen, don't you,
absolutely
sister?
amazing. We
You're in,
always have done. We're all very close. Me and my brothers and
yeah,
Karen, we're all very, very close.
yeah,
And I don't have to think too much about the shop or managing the shop or stock levels or helping myself to things that are in the shop or just basically doing what I want. It works
you
really
always
well.
have.
It works really well for us because it's now allowed me the time to concentrate on what I do, which is the designing. And I still, all these years later, I test every single product that's got my name on it
Yeah.
myself. So I don't, even the design team don't test them for me. I do it all myself.
Yeah,
And that's kind of, it's just how I am. It's how I'm built.
yeah. What else can we look forward to this year, Phill? So you've got your new collection coming out
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
But I know you're always working on different products. Can you give us a sneaky peek of maybe something you're working on
I
this year?
can tell you that the routine. So I've always had this routine where we have dies, stamps, mediums. It's going to be flipped on its side this year. That's all I'm going to say. So
Okay.
we are still going to have a routine. So I never do. I don't want to be a one-track pony, so I never do dies every month or stamps every month. We always have a rotation of products, so it keeps things interesting for us all. And it also means, like, when I'm on with the dies next week, when I bring you the stamps that are coming next, you are going to be able to bring out the things you bought this month, use the things that you buy next month. And this is my ethos. Never put something away and forget about it. When I do my lives, I still use things from 5, 6, 7 years ago. So I can tell you that our normal routine will be altered this year.
Oh,
That's all I'm telling you. So we are.
your normal routine will be altered. It's like a 3-2-1 clue, isn't it? Dusty Bin's going to come in from the background in a minute.
Ted Rogers, always showing our age now.
Oh, I love that show.
So lots of exciting things. There are always going to be stamps, always going to be dies. Other things are now being added into the mix. I always do my mediums because I love my paints and my powders and everything. I can tell you that I do online workshops as well, which I thoroughly enjoy. And I've done them for a few years, and we always do one on the period between Christmas and New Year. So we did one on the 29th of December. It's 5.5 hours later. I always put on the description a 3-hour-ish workshop, and it's always about 5 hours. But this again is me at home in my pajamas, crafting along with people, and we have such a good time. And I've been saying it's been on my agenda for the last year and a half to do one every month. It's a fabulous way for me to relax, which is bizarre because although I'm working, I'm not really working. Clearly, if I can spend 5.5 hours doing a workshop, I'm enjoying it. And I do. We have a right screen. So I am going to do one on the end of the last Sunday of every month now, which is going to be new for this year. We are looking at doing our craftathon workshops again, and that they are in the shop. We've not done them for a few years, since lockdown really, where it will be me and a guest. So there will be a guest, and we have a full day workshop. So we are trying to plan that in. And there's just never enough hours in a day.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very, very busy. Got a lot coming up. Are you going to the craft show at all at the NEC?
I'm no, probably not. I don't really like the NEC. I've never really, which is just bizarre.
Yeah.
But I've never really enjoyed it. So I don't do the NEC. We are doing a couple of craft shows, but I'm the wrong person to ask. Karen's the one who does all that.
Yeah.
I just turn up where I'm told. I've messaged Hobby Maker today. I've got my calendar and everything on my iPad, which is just there. And I'm looking at when I'm on in February, and I'm like, I can see the dates, but what hours am I on? And I know they've told me. So I messaged him, and I'm like, I know, but please just remind me what hours I'm working in February. You know when your brain just is working constantly. I've got so many notes all over the place, and I'm like, I'll put that straight on the iPad. I never do. And
I'm the same. I've got piles. I just have piles of things. I've got piles of files there. I've got piles of my iPad and my camera there. I've got your cowboy hat over there and another pile of stuff and a pile down there.
Outfit. We wore those outfits for Julia's birthday party.
We did.
That was
it was fabulous. Did you go on the Raging Bull, by the way?
No. Did you see the jeans I was wearing? I could barely walk in them, let alone get on the. I could barely move in them, let alone get on a raging bull. I'd have done myself an injury.
I think you'd have done everyone an injury.
I think I need to find the photos out. I'll put them on Facebook in the morning if I remember.
Dude,
It was
I think
awesome.
I've got some. Oh, it was a brilliant day, wasn't
It
it?
really was.
And all the line dads. And I was talking to Lou Sims about that, and I remember, because I don't know my left from my right, nor does Lou Sims, and we were just trying to go left, trying to go right, arguing between ourselves. No, that's the left. No, that's the right.
Oh,
But
it was a good time.
It was fantastic, and that's testament to everybody coming together in the craft industry that knows one another, and we do have a good time, and we are friends. And long may that reign, which I think is really important.
I think everything that's happened has just absolutely brought everybody even closer together, which I think is nice. I mean, I was. It felt like grief.
Yeah.
It felt like a loss, a physical loss.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Daft as it sounds, we've been there for like nigh on 20 years. So everybody's a friend. So I felt that really quite deeply. Although I'd gone a couple of months before, I felt that really quite deeply for everybody who'd lost their jobs and the suppliers, which is why I did my little Facebook post and said, please just reach out to me if I can help. I will. And some did, and I have done. And I think that's nice that I'm in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's good as well. I really do. But it's ever evolving and ever changing. So we're going to see what the next couple of months has to bring. Right, Phill, I'm going to let you go. Have you still got work to do tonight, or are you going to chill?
It's 7:45 nearly, so I will be working still. Yeah, I'm going to take this jumper off and I'll put my t-shirt, my scabby t-shirt back on.
The one that we did the test with earlier on. No one else gets a test apart from Phill.
Saw us, and I'm like, I'm in a t-shirt, and people have just seen me. Oh, that was amazing.
I did delete it. Don't worry, it's fine. Phill, I'm going to ask you, will you come on again? Because I'm sure we've still got many stories to tell.
There's just over the years, there's just so many things. But yeah, of course I will, absolutely.
Certainly.
What you need to do is you need to get me, Lisa. Can you get more than two? Lisa,
I can get 3, or if I'm using Restream, the streaming, I think I can get up to 10 people on that. So we'll have to arrange that. Oh, that would be funny.
That would be epic.
That'd be chaos.
It would be chaos, but what fun would that be? Me, Lisa, Julia, Catherine.
Yes.
It'd be awesome.
Let's do it. I'll get that arranged. That'll be a new little project for me to arrange. That'll be good fun. That'll be good fun.
I'm sorry, everybody. We've just got carried away talking to ourselves. So I hope you've enjoyed us just chatting away and catching up.
Do you know what? I've noticed there's been a lot of comments going through. People are loving your lives. They love your ink pads. They love watching you, Phill. They're really interested in your online workshops, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that is lovely. So Phill, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're very welcome. It's been lovely to chat to you.
And hopefully I'll see you physically soon. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Even if you like this outside your...
We need to... What I might do, I've just mentioned the craftathons. I might get you to come to one later in the year, because your stamps and that will be out by then.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, I'd love to.
There you go. I don't really teach anything, but I do have a good time, and we always have good cakes and everything.
You had me at cakes.
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Phill, listen. Love to you and yours. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
And I'll see you very soon.
You will indeed.
And good luck with your launch on Hobby Maker next week.
It's Wednesday. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Nice to chat to you all. Bye,
see you, Phill. Bye. So I go up there. I remove our Phill. We just do that. Oh, isn't he lovely? He should have worn his suit, though. Should have worn his suit. Come dressed as Phill Martin. I might have to do this for every guest that I have on, which means this Thursday, I've got Dan Bancroft on. He's a bit muscly, so a bit sporty. So maybe I'll have to come all like pumped up and a bit sporty or something like that. I've also got Natasha on as well. So Natasha Meg, so that'll be nice. A nice little duo for you Thursday night at 7 o'clock, starting there. So do make sure you tune in for that. Tomorrow night, I'm off to the football. We've got Crystal Palace at home, so we'll see. Hopefully it won't be too cold, and hopefully we will win. but we will see. So thank you for watching. I have seen all your comments come up as we go along. Sorry if we've not answered any of your questions that have come in, but just drop us a line. If there's any questions you want me to go and ask Phill, then I will do, which is brilliant. So thank you so much. Remember, Phill is at the Sheffield store tomorrow doing some workshops, but people can still turn up and go and say hello, shake His Majesty's hand if you want. And don't forget, he's got that new range launching next week on Hobby Maker, so be interested to see that, and also interested to see what Phil's got lined up for the year ahead. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll keep you informed as to when my range is launching, so that's all ongoing at the moment, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a lovely day tomorrow, enjoy your time, have a lovely evening. See you later, everyone. By the way, this will be available to watch on Facebook for another 30 days. So if you have joined late or you have missed it, that's absolutely fine. And I'll put it onto YouTube, Janice Phillips TV. If you can, follow me on Facebook. I really, really appreciate it as we grow and we keep the connection. Also, if you can, subscribe to YouTube as well, because we're going to be going out live on there. So thank you so much again for your support. Really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye, everyone. Bye.